Good evening. I'm Kym Zest, and this here is Pigeon. Will is behind the computer running the show. Welcome to Pajama Yin Yoga. I see there are 3 of you tuned in right now. For those of you who are here, I will share that Will and I inexplicably got no sleep last night. Just no good reason. So we're a little tired. Hopefully I won't fall asleep during Yin Yoga, but hopefully this practice will give me a good chance for a good night's sleep tonight. And hopefully you too as well. If you joined early and are foam rolling, feel free to continue to do so throughout the very normal intro. Otherwise, you might want to set up your props and environment. I won't be playing music on my end, but you're welcome to on yours. I'm a big fan of having lots of props for Yin Yoga. Soft, flexible props like yoga mats work. I'm a fan of having these folded blankets. And then soft props, I've got these pillows. And thicker props and stiffer props, I've got the yoga blocks and the foam roller. Other things that work well are books and Tupperware and chairs and other furniture and walls and straps or bands or any other exercise equipment or just things you have lying around your house. So gathering those. We really like being able to offer this practice on YouTube to keep it free and accessible to as many people who want to give it a try, who need it to be free and accessible. Yet we can only continue doing this with people's active support, and I'll talk about that at the end. Tonight we will begin with a short movement flow and follow that with a seated meditation. And then we will do 3 yin postures before final relaxation. You are always welcome to make this practice whatever you need it to be, to use this hour to help you feel better. And so substitutions of exercises, of meditations, of postures, whatever floats your boat. I can't see you, no one else can see you, so do what works for you. There will also be transition time between each yin pose for movement or stillness of your choice. During this time, there is no correct position or correct alignment of traditional poses because there's no force applied, there's no progression goal, it doesn't need to look like anything in particular. For each yin posture, I'll suggest several different setups for you to feel lines of fascial tension, and so that's the connective tissue in your body as opposed to feeling muscular tension. I'll begin with sort of minimal props and a simple setup and then add variations and propping. During the demonstration, that's your time to explore. Even if you've done this many times before, it's still good because your body today is different than it was last week and the week before. After my demo, I'll return to a seated position to watch the time for 2 to 3 minutes. For that 2 to 3 minutes, you'll be staying in a still passive posture, and that position that you've chosen should feel safe to release all muscular effort and holding while experiencing quiet sensations. This is a practice of patience, stillness, and subtlety. Let's begin. So, as always, I begin by working around Pigeon and, keeping her happy. So right now you can sit in any position that is comfortable for you. So it doesn't have to be this one. You could be sitting in a chair, but do sit. And I'm going to have both arms out in front of me. Palms roughly facing each other, not too terribly important. I'm going to take one arm and I'm going to bend my elbow and drive my elbow back directly behind me. My gaze might look over my shoulder, keeping the other arm reaching forward, elbow driving back, getting a rotation through the torso. Then coming back to forward and other side. Taking this time to really reach forward with one arm, reach back with the other, driving with the elbow, keeping the neck long, head over shoulders, over hips. Coming back. If you want to add breath, inhale, sort of in our neutral center. Exhale into the twist. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Moving at your own pace, on your own breath. Taking another round or two. When you're ready, at any time, taking a little transition, and then we're going to switch to lying on your back. Oh, pigeon, kind of awkward. Yeah, this works. Okay, so lying on your back, put your arms however you want to. And I'm going to take one leg and reaching over the other, twisting my hips, and then coming back to center, reaching at the other leg, crossing over, and letting my hips rotate. Oh, yeah, there goes pigeon. And back. Then again, inhaling in the neutral in the center. Exhaling, twisting the hips, keeping the shoulders on the ground, twisting the hips. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. Going only as far as you feel comfortable, twisting with the hips, keeping the shoulders anchored. Moving at your own pace, whether that's faster or slower. Taking another round or two. And when you're ready, taking a little transition. You want to swish the knees or hug the knees. You're going to roll onto your back when you're ready. And pigeon is both sitting on my notes and purring into the microphone. Why there, pigeon? There's a nice spot for you right there. Okay, rolling onto your belly. You can put your head in arms, however feels right for you. And we're going to do the same motion. So I'm going to pick up one leg and just cross it over, twisting in the hips and back, crossing over. Just getting a little rotation in the hips while keeping shoulders mostly anchored. Adding a breath, inhaling at center, exhaling, twist. You might play with where you put your arms. Taking another round or two, whatever feels right for you. And then when you're ready, taking any transition, you might just lie there on your belly a little bit, or you might choose some more active movement. And then when you're ready, we'll get set up for our meditation. So you want to just be in a comfortable seated position with as minimal physical distraction as you can have it as reasonably for you right now. So if a chair is available, there's nothing wrong with sitting in a chair with your feet flat on the ground. If I sat in a chair, you wouldn't be able to see me very well. I'm going to stay on the floor, and if you're on the floor, you can sit with your legs extended, with your knees bent, with your legs crossed, with your legs folded underneath you. And if you are on the ground, really good to sit propped up on something, or even higher, and to possibly prop underneath the knees, underneath the hips. Depends on how you're seated, but just propping yourself so it's very comfortable for you. So nothing is being stretched right now. Getting yourself situated. You can have your palms down, up, or clasped in your lap. Eyes closed, or a soft, steady gaze on the floor in front of you. Taking this time to simply notice how you respond to doing nothing. What does it feel like when you stop moving and doing? What do you notice? Now bring your awareness to your breath. Notice the sensation of air moving, of its rhythm, of how it moves your body. Now gently lengthen and deepen the breath. Inhales that are expansive. Exhales that are long and emptying. Inhales that fill you from tailbone to crown, from front to back, from one arm to the other. Exhales that draw in. Actively lengthening your breath. And then gently release the effort of the breath. Let your breath return to any natural rhythm. And simply watch how it changes as you release the effort. Now nod your chin towards your chest. And open your eyes. Reintroduce movement. Rolling the neck or the shoulders. Maybe some side bends or some twists. You might be in a hurry to release the legs. Look who's being a very good girl. Okay, so for our first yin posture, we're going to bring focus to lines in the hips, and the outer hips in particular. So outer hips moving through the thighs and then moving it through the lower back, along the spine, along the back of the neck into the forehead. So that's the area that we're looking to feel lines of stretch. And we're gonna do a cross position with the legs. You can do a very loose cross, so ankle over ankle. You can tighten that up. You can go ankle over knee. You can go knee over knee. I can't actually get my knees to be knee over knee, but some people can, but that direction. Just with one leg crossed over the other from very tight to bigger. And then whichever position you choose there, then we're going to allow the body to fold forward. And you might not need any props, but in my experience, most people benefit from some props. For most people, either the position is constrained enough that they don't feel like they can really be in a passive stretch, that they have to sort of put effort into putting themselves into a stretch. And for others, the stretch is immediately so intense that their muscles are protecting them from going too far and too deep. So in one way or the other, props can be very beneficial. So one of them is to just sit up on something. So this is a pretty small thing to sit up on. Sometimes when I'm doing this myself, I sit on a footstool. But just keep in mind that you can absolutely sit on something bigger or stack multiple things. I could use both blocks, but just propping the hips up will give you a little more space. Make sure that you pad underneath any contact spaces on the ground, but depending on also how you are propped or set up with the legs, you might want to add a prop underneath one or both knees. You might want to prop the forehead. Oh, here. And then just playing with little things with, maybe you're not quite off center. Maybe you go one direction or another. Maybe you put things closer to you or further out. Lots and lots of ways. I can't even possibly begin to demonstrate all of the different ways you could support yourself and all the different variations in both my own practice and pre-pandemic when I would teach this with, a room of people. I'd see people come up with all sorts of inventive ways to prop themselves and use what's available. So just experimenting with different levels of cross, different levels of propping hips, different levels of propping legs, different ways of propping your head and chest. And then at some point you have to stop fidgeting and trust that wherever you have positioned yourself for today will be something you can explore. And let go of movement. Settle into stillness. Allow yourself to be completely passive. Let the effects of the stretch arise naturally, being open to whatever sensations shift and change. Gently lengthen and deepen your breath. And use these breaths to gently come out, simply lifting up, and you might be ready to uncross the legs, or you might explore a little movement, the legs still crossed. Taking any transition that feels right for you, which might just be lying down and noticing how it feels. And then when you're ready, no rush, but when you're ready, we'll start setting up the other side. In my experience, most people's hips are pretty different from each other, so be prepared for this side to just want something or need something different. So we've got, right, that loose cross, and even in the loose cross, you can play with close or far. You can play with where you lean and how you're propped. A ankle over knee position, right? And again, here you can sort of play with the angles. And of course, the support. And moving towards a knee over knee. And even with knee over knee, playing with where the feet are. And then propping underneath the hips, underneath knees. Lots of things. Even something as simple as how you place your hands. Palm up, palm down, behind, inside. Might really change how you experience and how comfortable you are at, well, relaxing. What position you can feel really comfortable in, really safe in. And then letting go of the fidgeting, allowing yourself to sink in and let go. There will be times where you feel resistance or distraction from within you, or in your environment, or on my end of the camera. Always just returning to your breath, letting your breath be the anchor for your attention. Gently lengthen and deepen your breath. And begin your transition out. As always, whatever feels right for you. As you transition and do whatever movement you want, I'm just going to slide my props to the other side of my space. Okay, so for this, I've got a sort of variation on something we've done many times before, and I'm just going to review the one we've done before, and if you're new to this, hopefully it was simple enough that you'll sort of get the drift. We're going to do the back chain, so sole of the foot, back of the ankle, calves behind the knees, hamstrings, into the glutes, low back, all the way along the spine, the whole back of your body. So I am over here partially because I like to be able to put my feet against my bookshelf, but you can also let your feet just hang. And we just fold forward. Now, in many cases, if you're like myself, there's not a lot of range to fold forward, or you might even feel like you're working to sit up at all, in which case you want to sit higher up. The higher up you sit, the more you'll be able to let gravity lean you forward. And depending on the situation, you might feel more comfortable with a little knee bend. Or you might need to prop the feet more or add padding underneath the knees. You can also put something underneath the heels, underneath the knees. Now the variation I'm going to throw out is to do one leg at a time. And so what you do with the other leg is up to you. I might choose to have my other leg be just folded open in sort of this half butterfly position. I might tuck it under. I might fold it back. I might have it be in sort of a half squat. So bottom line is with one leg, we have a extended with or without a knee bend, and that we're getting the back chain. And then the other leg has quite a lot of freedom, and the other, however you place this other leg, just make sure that you're still feeling some line in the back chain on the extended leg. We are playing around with some of those options. Might even change the angle of the leg, the angle of how you allow yourself to fold forward. And then settling into stillness. Letting go of effort. Sinking into your breath. Gently lengthening and deepening your breath to come out. Exploring movement, or simply sitting and observing changes. Then when you're ready, setting up the other side. As always, the other side might need something different. But one leg extended for a long back chain, and then other leg in any variation, in any opening. Playing with angles. Sliding the leg out. So experimenting with all of those options. And then finding stillness. Getting lost in observing all the shifting internal sensations. Some sensations will start out intense and fade. New sensations may arise out of nowhere. No judgment. No need to change or shift or respond. Simply watch. Gently lengthen and deepen the breath. Begin your transition. And for our last yin posture, we're going to lie down on your back. And from your back, I'm going to take one arm and just lay it out next to you. It can be more straight, can be more bent. And looking for feeling a gentle line of stretch through that shoulder, through the chest, possibly towards the elbow, possibly towards your midline or down into the ribs. And playing with the angle of that arm, wherever you find a long line of stretch, possibly even into the fingertips and into the ribs. Possibly shifting the torso. So when you find that nice long line, you might leave it there, you might prop it. So if the arm is coming off the ground, elbow, you might find a prop. And then wherever you've left the arm, we're going to take the legs and move them. So in this case, this is my left arm. So I'm going to move my legs to the right, to the other side. And so on my left side, I've started with feeling stretch, fingers through elbow into chest, into ribs, and now moving my legs in the opposite direction. I move it into my hips, torso, and then I might leave the legs parallel, or I might cross left over right. I might choose to prop underneath my knees, or underneath the heels, or when I'm doing this on my own, in many cases, I have a sturdy piece of furniture holding my legs where I'd like them. Adjusting your head, finding your props, making any other subtle adjustments. And then just melting into the floor, letting your muscles hang off your bones, and your bones be supported by the floor. Gently lengthening and deepening your breath. Feeling how long active breath changes the sensation of this position. And then when you're ready, untwisting, Coming to a neutral position, and then you might choose some active counter movements. And then when you're ready, setting up the other side. And so lying on your back, beginning by exploring the position of the other arm, whichever arm you didn't do first. Finding the place, the angle, the support, possibly shifting the entire torso. Looking for a line of stretch that is in the front of the shoulder and down through the bicep, elbow into fingers, maybe into the palm of the hand, into the ribs. And when you've got that arm where you want it, then moving the legs to the opposite side, leaving the legs parallel or crossing the ankles, adjusting the position of the head. Allowing yourself to feel fully supported, allowing yourself to let the stretch arise and come to you. You can stop chasing. Gently lengthen and deepen that breath. Active breath helps you come out, reactivate. And then we will be doing our final relaxation. And if that's your favorite part, go ahead and get there faster. We won't be doing a very long relaxation today, so if you want to just get cozy and comfortable really quickly, but if your body is craving some more active movement, even a standing pose, go ahead and take that. So that transition time now, whether as active or just already getting a blanket over your body, maybe something supporting behind the head. Maybe something covering the eyes. And if you were taking an active transition, you want to get yourself settled for the relaxation. Lying in stillness, in comfort. With your body at ease, at peace. Let your mind find ease in watching your breath. Watching your breath flow in and out as if it was a wave. Gently lengthen and deepen your breath. Letting your breath be the first act of movement. And then spreading fingers and toes, and squeezing them into fists, rolling ankles and wrists. Stretching out long on the floor before curling into a ball. In a ball on your back, rocking side to side before rolling all the way over onto your side. From your side, using your arms to help you sit up gently and slowly. And coming to a comfortable seated position, we'll conclude with 3 breaths together. Together, we'll inhale through the nose and exhale audibly out the mouth. Together, inhale through the nose. In through the nose. One more. Thank you so much to the 5 of you who are here with me this evening. YouTube just gives us a number. I don't know who. It's always nice to not feel like I'm just speaking into the void, into the nothingness and the 5 people, 5 numbers in the computer. So saying hello in the live chat is always appreciated. And then we love doing this, or sometimes we love doing this. Pigeon loves doing this. But it does take effort for us, and it really makes a difference to get your active support to keep this going. And there are 3 ways you can do that. One of which is becoming a sustaining member on patreon.com/zested for $10 a month. Patreon members know that this is valuable for them and for others. Their donation helps keep it going. And then Patreon members get bonus videos every month. And then next time Will and I travel for an adventure, we got a road trip coming up in April. We will do a special yin session on location in some beautiful scenery, hopefully, and that will be available to Patreon members. The other option, another way to support us, is just a one-time donation to paypal.me/zested. Just $5 is a way to communicate your support and your appreciation. And then another really great way, and costs you nothing, is just to engage and communicate. So you can share this with friends and family, spread the word. You can shoot me an email, kym@zested.net, and I'll give you a prompt this time. Sometimes no one emails me, and that's fine, but sometimes I think, why? What would I say? You can email me, do you have a favorite prop, and what is it? I mean, because I use the same things every week here, but maybe you've got something that you've got at home that you've discovered just makes a really big difference for you. So feel free to shoot me an email and let me know what your favorite prop is. And then other ways to stay engaged are to join our mailing list. You can go to our website, zested.net, and join the mailing list. And you can follow us on social media on Instagram or Facebook. So those are 3 different ways that you can support us. Any of those is appreciated. So hopefully this felt good. Hopefully you'll sleep well tonight. Pigeon was probably already sleeping on her pillow, and I hope Will and I will sleep well tonight. Have a wonderful rest of your week.